going to take a second. Oh, hi. Stop laughing at me. What do we got going on here? What is this thing here?
So this is an Iron Orchid design transfer. This one is a little remnant we had left over from Bohemian Border.
And who are you?
I'm Hannah.
Yeah. Hey, sorry guys, we had a little technical. It's not we. I own it. I had a little technical difficulty with the Facebook Live, but here we are, very impromptu. And actually, can I just show them something?
Yeah, so this is the technique. Basically, we're going to show you how we did it on a different piece, but we're going to show you kind of a step-by-step.
Ann Sinclair goes, let's try again. She lived.
Really.
Sorry, Ann. I'm technically challenged. Okay, so can you just put your hand underneath that ledge so people can understand? So this is a piece that Hannah did last week, actually for my mother-in-law, Kathy. And you can see that the top of it has sort of the serpentine style, and then the bottom two dresser drawers are flat.
Yeah.
So you have that good, almost an inch and a half of depth there. And the transfers come on one solid sheet. The other thing, too, is, you know, when you look at the big picture, this looks amazing. When I zoom in, you can obviously tell sometimes that the letters didn't quite translate perfectly, but it's really, I think, as good as you're going to get. And you could, like you had mentioned, you could have gone back with a fine artist brush to sort of round it out. But I think overall, this looks like the bomb. It is amazing. You did an incredible job. And it's a little, I think, daunting, and probably if somebody's new at this, they might be insecure about doing a transfer on like where the dresser drawer stops and the dresser begins, or on these curves. So Hannah thought it would be really cool to just jump on and give you an example, actually show you how she does this. And the tool that she likes to use, woo, that's kind of scary. What do you got going on there?
So I just have a box cutter here. What I do is I line up my transfer, I get the acetate paper lined up, and
do you use painter's tape?
I do. I secure it with some painter's tape, and then kind of cut it into sections. So this one I worked in a few different sections here. I started up here, and I took my box cutter and went around the drawer.
So you had this taped, right? Yep. So that way it's held, and then you literally, and you want to make sure that this blade that you're using, and you can get these at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, big box stores, you just want to make sure that blade is sharp.
Yeah.
And so you taped it, made sure it was laying nice and smooth, and then came back with the box cutter and just sliced it where the seam is.
Yep, exactly. And one thing too that's important is I taped it here, and I also taped it here so that when I cut it with my box cutter, the rest of the transfer didn't fall right off. Yeah,
and that's really important, more so with the size transfer of this. This one's called I can't pronounce this one.
Parisiensis.
Yeah, we should have had Brittany say that because Brittany speaks French. So, and Swahili. Do you know that? Brittany speaks Swahili. Brittany, who works here. But anyways, okay, so this transfer that we did on, or Hannah did on this dresser, is a very large one. That's why she's pointing out she not only did the painter's tape on the top, but probably you could run it down the sides, because when you go to cut that, you don't want the gravity and the weight to start to pull it. It's not going to tear. It's just going to be very awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, what do we have here? And
so we just have like an example piece of mirror that we have. That's been around the shop for years now.
That's actually, and just so you guys know, this was completed using
milk paint.
This was Miss Mustard Seeds yellow. We also used a little bit of a crackle, and you can see those little white flakes. That's because we actually, one of our really cool customers did this for us, and she sanded back, and the little white spots is part of the milk paint that didn't quite dissolve. It's a very cool piece. I've had people offer to purchase it, but I'm like, no, I like the look of it. It's a perfect example. So you thought it would be fun to throw this Bohemian transfer from Iron Orchid Designs on here just to use as a demo. Yeah. And that's because, how far are you going to bring it, and tell me what curves?
I'm just going to go like on the glass here, and then I'll follow down with that same line with the rest of
just for fun. Okay, so this is what, about a half an inch, this drop?
Yeah.
And it's all the way around, and you're going to just kind of give us an example of how to do that.
And the grid lines are very helpful now on the transfers, especially down here with the writing. I was able to really get the writing straight and make sure it wasn't at any kind of
That was a huge enhancement by Iron Orchid Designs.
Absolutely. So I am going to get it as straight as possible.
Do you need painter's tape at all?
I don't for something like this. If it were upright, I definitely would. And what I'm going to do is actually just cut on the grid line so I know that it's straight.
Okay. Oop, let me get a little light here.
And it just glides. Once you get it in there, it really glides. Nice and smooth.
So you kind of eyeballed this. Well, you know where you want it based on how you laid it out.
Yeah.
And so now you're just cutting.
Yeah.
Okay. But you would use a razor versus a scissors?
Yeah, you could do either if you were doing it this way. It was really helpful with the razor on the drawer fronts because it's already in place and you can kind of wiggle the razor in and just slide along that same line.
Okay, and actually, if you can hold on a second, when you say that, can you, without putting the razor there, just show me what you meant?
Yeah, so if the transfer were up here, I would wiggle my razor in right there,
right in the
that
seam.
and just drag it all the
Okay,
way
and you didn't
across.
need to, there's enough tolerance, enough space there. You didn't have to worry about
Yeah.
slicing your paint or anything like that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So that's not exactly straight,
Nope.
but that's okay?
Yeah.
Because you're not OCD and I am?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna line it up in here.
Here's your tool. These cute little plastic tools always come with the transfers, by the way. They're in the packaging of the Iron Orchid Design Transfer. If you didn't have something like this or you lost it, I think those little plastic utensils that Pampered Chef gives to clean the baking stones would work out really
I
well.
don't know those. I mean, a nail file or credit card would work.
Okay. Okay.
Anything like that.
Okay, so we're going to put this transfer right on that mirror.
Yep, I'm going to... So
Let me
I'm
come
gonna-
on the other side of you.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Even more. I'm going to kind of push it and guide it into that crevice there.
Okay, so
and
this
now
is
you
how
can
you're
see,
accommodating.
Yeah, now you can see what I mean when I was in the drawer front. Just kind of go right along that mirror seam and
Okay.
trim it. Get all the way into the corner there.
Okay, so now that piece will actually wrap up the side or no?
No.
Oh,
I
you're not-
could use
okay.
it. I could go back and put it on.
Okay.
But I just want it right on the mirror.
Okay, but if you were going to run it up the side, it would be the same concept.
Yeah. And so what I just trimmed it a little too short so I can go back here. I'm going to do this and then go back here and
And just
fill
add
the
it in.
gap. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're pretty user-friendly.
Yeah.
It's not like the end of the world.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to use my tool to actually transfer the design onto the surface.
Okay. Hopefully it's coming through okay.
What I like to do is just do a quick like all over to get the design starting to adhere,
Okay.
and then just start to peel back, and then you can see where it's still lifting up and where you need to go
Hold on.
back.
Oh, so it's still on the acetate right there and it's
Yeah.
starting to rip, but that's okay. It's not like it's ruined, correct?
Correct.
You just
And now it's
reapply it. And actually, can you lift that up again? So now you can see that the image was transferred. Okay. And that little rip, it looked like a little seam.
It just
You
laid
can't
back
even
down.
see it.
Nope.
It's gone.
Yep.
Okay, that's awesome. So if you guys have any questions, thanks for tuning in. I see Pam, I see True, I see Becky. I feel like this is Romper Room. Hi, Ann. You don't even know what Romper Room is. Oh my gosh, Hannah's what? How old are you? 21. I'm going to play Romper Room here at the shop. You don't? Does anyone out there remember Romper Room? I don't know if it was a local thing on PBS or what, but wasn't it Romper Room? Or was it Mr. Rogers? Which is it? But which one did you look through the mirror? And I see Susie and I see Diane. No? Nothing? I digress. See? Verta said I loved Romper Room.
Can I grab some scissors?
Marianne says you need to look in the mirror, so.
Okay, so
Hi. Okay, so Hannah's got that on, but notice this is where she made the little boo-boo.
yes.
That's okay. See what she's going to do? She
Take
has,
some scissors.
yeah, and she's going to just come back, cut what she needs, and then put it right on in there. See, Gloria remembers Romper Room. She said it was Romper Room that did that. You guys, this stuff is really easy. Don't be afraid. I got to tell you, it's so fun. Makes everything look so much better. In fact, we are just we're very excited and we're anxious for Iron Orchid Designs to come out with more newer images because we're ready. And we get suggestions all the time. People want transfers of trees, of branches, of ferns, horoscope, to do with your, whatever your sign is. I mean, there's so many cool things they can do. Celestial. Yeah. Yeah, celestial, like,
Celestial?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Like the tea? Don't make me laugh, then my camera jumps.
Okay.
Okay, so
Kind
how...
of piecemealed it together a little bit. It's not perfect.
Hey, it looks pretty darn good to me. See, this is where she made that mistake, and you can't even tell. I can't tell. You know how somebody would tell? Why don't you hold that upright? Somebody would tell because somebody will come in and go, well, this is where I made the mistake, and then they'll focus. But you won't because you see how this has right here, right there, those little white specks. That's actually part of the transfer.
Yeah,
it's
kind of
meant,
naturally distressed on its own.
It's meant to be a little distressed. So that's pretty cool. Captain Kangaroo too, somebody said.
Captain Kangaroo. So,
Oh, Gloria said they never said my name on Romper Room. Hold on a second. I got to do something. Okay, so I see Gloria out there. Okay, seriously.
I'm going to carry it over onto the wood part a little bit, and then we'll be able to use the razor blade a little bit more for that technique.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting too with this, Hannah? Even though that was one little tiny remnant, if you wanted to, you could cut that in multiple strips and you could make a border around the outer perimeter if you wanted.
Should I do that?
Well, I'm thinking if you did it the thickness of that, it might be tough, but if you were to do like a smaller border, that's not cut very straight. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's why I trimmed that.
you can do whatever you want. You're in charge of this show. I'm just ad-libbing.
Okay, so first I'm going to, this time, trim the width. So,
Are you just going to put it right below the mirror, or are you going to bring it? Okay.
well, I was going to bring it over to show the
Oh,
razor blade.
oh wow, you're going to do that. You are good.
Yeah.
She's going to go over this interesting little
Did it?
piece of molding here, and that's impressive in my opinion. So,
Okay. So,
Gloria said I made her day 55 years later. You're
okay,
cute.
So lining it up, I'm going to start to adhere it, just so that it stays in place a little bit. And then I'm going to take my razor blade and go right on this crack.
Do you want tape?
There.
Would it be helpful?
No.
You sure? Okay. Just this is live, folks. Don't cut yourself.
It's just proof of my workman's comp kit.
You have it on. You have evidence.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is interesting because that is intimidating to me. Take your time. So you're just going in and
Going along the seam.
yeah. I don't know. I would have taped it myself because as you push down, it's kicking itself up.
Yeah.
Not that I'm her mom, but mother always knows best. So, see, from what my experience, I think we should tell people that they would want to tape it just a little because it will keep it in place better.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so there's that. And then you are really going to go over, this is like Evel Knievel. You are really going to take that transfer and you're going to apply the transfer to this unique piece of molding?
I was going to, unless you don't want
No, hey, we're live, folks. This is awesome. I will buy you lunch.
Ooh.
How's that?
I'll take a T-bone.
Yeah, see, LaDonna says, use tape. I agree with you. That's okay.
Especially a piece that's solid like this, the acetate really peels back nicely because there's not so many moving parts.
Yes,
Around like these detailings is where you have to be a little bit more careful.
that's a good point. So if it has any scalloped or interesting cut, like on the roses or the leaves.
Yeah, these leaves were very tricky in some of these areas just because I had to have a little bit more patience.
But can I actually zoom in on that? Because I think you did a really good job. So I don't even know what that flower is. If you like are a gardener or you know what this one particular long piece here is, where you had those little teeny small blue flowers, and they crossed over onto the actual kind of like spine of the dresser between the two drawers. I noticed that, and I thought it was done really well. Same with your leaves, all the way across.
Tricky. So there's some things that I noticed that...
You want to point out your mistakes?
Yeah, so
okay,
other
we'll point out your
people
mistakes.
Probably wouldn't notice. If you're looking from a distance, it looks really cool. If you look up close, like I notice a little gap right there.
Oh, see, now I wouldn't even have noticed
off.
that. I always tell people, you know, when you're looking at the forest, you're not picking out one particular tree.
Yeah.
But you're right, now that you pointed this out to me.
You're never gonna unsee it.
Correct. I probably then could have just used a very fine artist
Yeah.
brush, dipped it in a little bit of Honfleur, and maybe
Yeah, I would have used graphite there to touch
yeah.
up the L. I would have used a little bit of maybe Amsterdam green to extend this stem.
I like
down
that
to
it's
the
not
bottom.
all the way to
Oh.
the bottom.
Well,
But yeah, I mean, or even a little bit. I mean, you could just mix some colors.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even use the paint straight. I would thin it with a little water.
yeah, so there's not a...
Because I think by doing that, then you have, it'll just blend better.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what? I feel like we need a drum roll.
So now I'm going to go over the molding.
So this is good because, like I said, this is pretty.
Yeah.
This is more advanced. So all of a sudden the camera blacks out. I'm just joking. It's like Evel Knievel. You're not going to tape it.
I am going to tape it in a second.
Hey, does anybody know where there's some blue painter's tape?
I think it's on the Louisville hutch. I'll grab it.
Okay. She's off. Yes, LaDonna, you do need one of these transfers. They are so fun. In fact, I'll come back, so just tape, don't start cutting. We have a transfer on that piece there. We have one on the mirror over there. And then I have another transfer on the piece in the front. Oh, and on that piece painted a Henrietta, even though you can't see it. Yeah, that was one of the first ones you did. So, okay, let me just get out of your way.
Sorry, my shoe broke.
Oh, jeez.
That's showbiz.
Okay.
So what I usually do is line it up this direction, and then I'll tilt it so it is straight on the top of it.
Okay, so
and
you'll
then tape it
you'll
there.
put it into its place based on matching up with the previous alignment.
Yeah.
But with this, since it's three-dimensional, it's like a little teeny interesting piece of molding. You're going to start at the top and then work your way down on both sides. Okay.
There.
Okay.
And this guy.
I'm almost done. Okay. So, oh hey, while you're doing that, and I'll keep talking instead of having the camera look at me. So we're going to have a really awesome Facebook Live next Friday, which I think is June. What's next Friday's date? Anybody know?
Like as in tomorrow?
No, a week from tomorrow. Is it? Oh, June 7th. Okay. So next Friday, June 7th, we have a really great live. I'll be putting this on. And it's going to be all about using Annie's gloss and matte lacquer. In fact, one of our guests who has tuned in for this Facebook Live, Stacy Deniston, Goodspeed, is going to be one of our guests on our Facebook Live, and she does quite a few painted floor cloths using just remnants of linoleum. So she's been playing around with the matte and the gloss. She's going to have some tips, some tricks, some information if you've used the Annie's lacquer in the past and what she found different. And then we'll actually show you the application of it. So that's exciting. I will create a Facebook Live event regarding that for next Friday, June 7th. So talk to me about what you're doing. And
So I am just kind of working it over this edge.
how much
here.
pressure are you applying? We need to know.
I am applying probably the amount of pressure I would like brush my hair with.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So
When it's not tangled.
not when you're ripping out knots?
Yeah. Or like filing your nails.
Okay. Filing your nails. Really? Okay, well, that's good to know. So the amount of pressure is as if you're filing your nails or brushing your hair when you don't have knots in it.
Exactly.
Or you weren't on a boat with wet hair and it's all knotted
If you
now.
wash your hair every day, might be a little more pressure.
It's not healthy to wash your hair every day.
And then, so on this side, I'm just going to show the difference. On that side, I did use the box cutter. On this side, I'm just going to use the tool and kind of really push it.
Push it in
into
the
that
seam
edge.
and let it hold it for you.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So you can see, you can see as I drop my phone, you can see right here, it's been applied, where's my finger? Right there, but not up into the top yet. And that's okay. It's not like you ruined the transfer.
Right.
By...
Right, just lay it back down in the areas where it's still on the acetate and continue.
I feel like the drum roll should still be going. That would be the longest
longest.
drum roll. It's like when Fonzie jumped over all those cars on Happy Days.
Don't know that one either.
Oh, come on. Have you even watched Happy Days?
I know who Fonzie is. I've never watched.
Really? You don't know Richie Cunningham? Oh my gosh. We need to have like some binge watching
What
of like
year did that come
70s.
out? I was born in 1998.
Oh, be quiet. Hush. Right there too. What about Laverne and Shirley?
Nope.
Love Boat? Fantasy Island? Oh my gosh. You're cracking me up. So yes, somebody said filing your nails? Question mark. Yeah, literally it's not like, well, you seem to be putting a little bit more pressure on now.
I don't know. I really go at my nails with a nail polish. Okay, so.
So the moment of truth, don't ruin it on the end. Could you
A little
imagine?
Careful right there. And I will probably actually go back with some sandpaper just because the frame itself is so distressed. I will probably continue the distressing. So this piece is, notice how it's still sticking up a little bit.
Oh wait, no, not yet. So yeah.
I'm
Ooh.
going to take it with my finger and kind of reposition it. Right
She's gutsy.
there. And just push it down.
Okay. And
Since
actually,
we're not over a flat surface.
yeah.
It does kind of rip.
So it to me, you know what this reminds me of? Using a piece of tissue, like decorative tissue, and
Yeah.
using decoupage.
Yeah.
You are going to have some little bit of, well, there is
Texture.
divots with the wood. I can
Yeah.
feel it. You can see that the wood
Yeah.
has like these 4 little lines
But for the most
every
part,
couple of inches. And so did this area here. So Samantha said slow and steady. Well,
Absolutely.
that's pretty impressive. And how does it feel? Is it, oh, it is nice and smooth, so it's not like you're going to lift it up.
If you see some areas that are still a little bubbled, you can take either the
Where?
tool,
Show me.
like that. I would use my finger
Oh.
because the tool can sometimes lift
Rip
it back
it?
up, like right in that little area.
Oh,
Yeah.
right there. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what, though? What's interesting is
Blends with
it
kind of.
obviously
Yeah.
does blend really well because of the color.
I'm just going to use my finger on that little bubble there and kind of push
Push
down,
it down.
and smooth it out a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey guys, like I said, this was a very kind of little impromptu video. I thought it would be helpful with Hannah since she created this beautiful dresser. Like I said, it's going to my mother-in-law Kathy's, and I was impressed with her ability to accommodate all these bends and crevices. And so, Hannah, you want to hold that up one more time? So we had this mirror just hanging out in the shop, and she said, why don't we just throw this Bohemian Transfer on it? And that way we can show people how she, you know, uses that straight edge. It's basically a box cutter to do that. So Samantha says it's stunning. LaDonna says sometimes she will warm it up with a low dryer first, and it should help smooth it out. So she'll probably use a blow dryer. Put it on low and just lightly go over it. You probably want to start from a good distance, maybe hold the blow dryer maybe 1.5 feet away. You don't want to be too close. And that is a very good idea. That's a very good idea. So again, Stacy's going to be with us on Friday,
June 7th.
and we're going to be showcasing.
Annie Sloan's matte and gloss lacquer.
Awesome. So where are those?
They are right over here. So these can be used outside now. So previously, Annie Sloan's lacquer was for interior use only.
And how do we know if it's a lacquer that was from before?
If it is packaged in a liter, that is the old formula.
The
of
1,000
lacquer,
milliliters, yeah.
1,000 milliliters. 750 milliliter containers are the new formula. It says right on the outside for both interiors and exteriors. It comes in a gloss. It comes in a matte. the previous formula was only in a matte, so a lot of customers are very excited about the gloss. I think especially for like tables, maybe the gloss you can really wipe down a lot better than the matte. Matte, anything matte really is going to soak up more dirt than a gloss will.
Okay, so we will be doing that on June 7th regarding doing floor mats, which is awesome. Going back to that IOD transfer, we would put wax over it. We could probably use the Artisan Enhancements clear finish, I think, clear top coat.
On something like that, I probably would not seal it. A mirror is not going to get touched. The dresser front with the Flora Parisiensis.
Yes, that's a good job.
I used the wax over to seal it, since it'll get a little bit more wear and tear.
Yeah, yeah. Some people say, oh, I saw the front door. So, yeah, you recall a couple weeks ago, we applied the transfers on the front door. We did them on the outside. Now that we've done that, we could have probably done them on the inside to protect them better. I think they're going to be fine, but the view from the backside isn't as colorful, but it's still extremely pretty. It's more of a muted version of it, which I actually like a lot.
Yeah.
I do. So, anyways, okay, well, we're going to sign off. I'm just going to scroll back around, hopefully not giving you whiplash. We found Hannah. So, tune in Friday, June 7th. We'll be going over the differences with Annie's lacquer, and hopefully this video was helpful. Bye, guys.